Written together, Episode 1.05. Interstitial 3. Q&A with Summer.
Hello.
I'm Summer.
I'm Janice.
I'm Dee.
I'm Keaven.
And this is
Written
Written Together.
Together.
Every season, we work collaboratively to tell a different story.
Each episode of the season, one of us extends the story from where the last person left off.
The rest of us don't know what's in store, so it's an adventure for everyone.
Yeah, like what they call an interstitial inside
Interstitial.
of a... Thank you. I can never say it.
So join us for fun,
For mystery,
Creativity, but most of all,
to be delighted by stories
Written
written together.
hey everybody, this is Keaven, and I am sitting here with Summer. Hey Summer.
Hey, Keaven.
So as you know, we'd like to do a little quick Q&A before a writer's first segment so that people can get kind of a feel for who you are as a writer, how you approach writing, that kind of a thing. So we've already talked with Janice and we've talked with Dee, and now, since your episode will be coming up soon, we're speaking with you, and I'm very excited because we've known each other for such a long time, and yeah, I probably could answer all these questions for you, but I mean, nobody wants to listen to me talk. Nobody wants to listen
I
to
love listening to you talk. Isn't that half the reason I'm doing this?
Okay, so we'll start off from the beginning. There are all right, we've got like 5 questions.
Sounds doable.
I say like 5 questions because really it's 6, but it's 5 serious questions, and there's one kind of fun question at the end.
Perfect.
All right, first question. Are there therapeutic benefits to modeling a character after someone you know?
Absolutely. There are things that you can embed in a character that you can't tell somebody to their face. There are things that you can exaggerate and make into something funny so that when the person who is doing these things that maybe you don't particularly like do them, you can go, yeah, fine, okay. You're just X. That's a new way of getting out rage in a passive aggressive means that isn't blatantly passive aggressive.
Do you think there are any downsides to that then? Like if you're being passive aggressive and somebody were to find out, hey, this sounds an awful lot like me, Summer.
I had no idea what you're talking about, Keaven. I'm a writer. This is all fictional. If you see yourself in this character, that's on you. Maybe you should self-reflect a little.
Okay. Yeah, there you go. All right, second question. When you're writing or planning to start writing, what comes first for you, the plot or the characters? And is there a particular reason why one would come before the other for you?
It's very circumstantial. I think in this case with the 7 deadly sins, it's definitely character because I have to picture that character. I have to think about how this character is going to work in relation to the other characters in the story who have already been sort of preset and somewhat defined. I have to think a bit about what's going to move the overall story forward. So that helps me figure out what the next step in the plot for my particular character is going to be. But in general, it really depends. If I think of a really good first line, I'll just write from there. I don't even know who the character is yet. I just really want to do something with this line. Or if I even a title sometimes. I like to think of a title that I really like. Sometimes that'll dictate a story and the characters will write themselves. It's just whatever inspires me, kind of take off from there. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
That's funny that you said that about the title because that is what I do. I cannot start writing unless I have a title. And I will spend a horribly disproportionate amount of time figuring out a title before I can start writing. It's just ridiculous.
You wouldn't just have a placeholder title that you could say, okay, this is what I'm calling this for now. And after I write it, maybe you'll come up with something else.
Yes. Oh no, yes, I did.
Okay.
For example, the interstitial short bit that I'm working on, I had a title, and then after or about midway through, once I had the idea based on the title. That's what kind of helped me formulate where the plot was going to go with this side story. And then once I got through a rough draft of it, I went back and changed the title to what it is now. So yes, as you said, I had a working title and then a final title, but yes, I still need that title because I have a tendency to get carried away, and I don't mean like write too much, but I mean I'll start on a what should just be a side note or just a um, setting description line, and then that will capture my imagination, and I'll just start writing about that and go off on this completely non sequitur of a tangent, and the title will snap me back to like, oh, this has nothing to do with what I'm supposed to be writing about.
I have no idea what you're talking about. That never, ever, ever happens to me. I'm just right from A to Z linear.
And it's always correct the first
Of
time.
course, that happens to me. Yeah, the title, that's actually a pretty good trick. I'm going to have to see if that works for me too.
So, third question. What do you find to be the most difficult part about your writing process?
Editing myself down. Per our previous conversation as of 3 seconds ago, I also tend to do tangents and lose, track of the narrative, over explain, get into world building that maybe doesn't need to happen. Um, and making sure that I haven't lost the reader's interest because I happen to be interested by, the scene or the house or the food they're eating or the way their hair looks. Um, it is always a process because, you write, you feel close to it, it's in your head, you pictured it, it sounds wonderful to you. And someone else is like, you don't need this 7 paragraph description. I'm like, but I do. No, it's
I know exactly what you're talking about. Yes. All right. Fourth question. Have you ever traveled for researching a book or story?
no, not specifically for it, but places I've gone work their way into my stories often. And they're places that I wouldn't necessarily be able to imagine or discuss without having been there and have some frame of reference for.
Do you feel that that type of personal experience is important when writing about a specific setting or culture?
Sometimes, yes, because when I can picture it in my head, that helps me trim down the number of words I use to describe it, which again, as I mentioned, like I can get carried away with that kind of thing. So if I can picture, say, I'm writing about a college student and I'm talking about the campus and I picture the campus I went to, then that negates me having to explain exactly what the campus looks like in a 1,000 word paragraph block that isn't necessary.
Oh, interesting. Almost like you being able to visualize it helps you to phrase your description in a way that's more concise and yet still conveys that image.
Right. I don't think, your average reader needs to know how every building on the campus is brick and how the walkways are cobblestone or anything like that. Unless that setting is integral to your plot. But when I'm picturing it, I know what it looks like. So I can reference it without, again, having to get overly wordy about minute details that don't end up mattering.
That's cool. All right. Fifth question. What would you say is your kryptonite as a writer?
When I write something that makes me laugh and it doesn't make other people laugh.
Oh.
Um,
Oh.
because I have you and I share a sense of humor, and I fully admitted to you before I write stuff that I know is gonna make you laugh. But if we're the only ones in the room laughing and everyone else is like, I don't get it, then I feel like a failure.
Oh. Oh. Does that end up influencing what you decide to actually write about or or jokes that you make or references that you make?
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
I have to take myself out of the summer Kevin D trifecta and be like, is the average person gonna get this? And I don't mean average in negative ways. I mean like generalized, not our weird off kilter, subjective, somewhat awful sense of humors that we all share.
Yeah, 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 I hear you. Okay, time for the fun question. So, what is your favorite writing snack or drink?
I actually don't eat or drink a lot when I write because I would rather just write and not get have my fingers doing something else.
Huh, really?
Does that make sense? Yeah. Typically I might have a coffee or some kind of drink next to me just to try to stay hydrated. But yeah, I usually if I'm gonna eat, I go away from the computer, eat, and come back.
Hmm. Do you ever get so caught up in your writing that you lose track of time and end up not eating or drinking for an extended period of time until your body starts screaming out to you, and then you push it down and ignore it because you're so tunnel visioned. And then by the time you're finally taking a break, you are almost so overly fatigued from
Wait, are
not
you
eating.
asking me if I ever snapped at my family really rudely because I've been writing for 8 hours, forgotten to eat, and they dared to suggest something? Never. Since yesterday.
Oh my gosh.
I have yet to do it today.
Oh, I mean, good.
No, yes, I will write till I get hangry. And it's funny because I read a tweet the other day that was like, I don't understand people who forget to eat. If I miss a meal for 3 hours, I'm ready to kill people. I'm like, I totally get that. But then I will write and get absorbed in it. And like I said, yell at the family or the TV or the dog, whoever is bothering me. And they're like,
Oh.
eat something and then we'll talk.
Oh, cool. All right. Well, thank you so much, Summer. This was really fun. I hope
Thank you,
that this has helped our listeners get a better appreciation for you. Is that the right thing
I
to
hope
say?
so as well. I hope in your chapter we can figure out who's going to ask you slightly different, but somewhat thematically the same questions without you preparing your answers.
Oh my gosh, I know, right? I was just thinking about that because, yeah, I've done this now for all of you, and they've all been the same questions, which was deliberate because I wanted there to be able to be some kind of compare contrast between everybody. And now we're not really going to get that from me. Aw, it's a shame.
I'm happy to come up with a couple questions and talk to you in a future session once you've done your interstitial or your chapter and make them again slightly the same, but not quite.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. I swear to you that nobody is fooling around with the Wheels of Randomness. My name has legitimately not come up, and so far, and it's kind of funny. I'm It's kind of funny that it worked out that way. But I swear there's been no monkey business. It's all on the up and up. Maybe I should live stream the wheel spinning so you can all see.
I believe you.
All right, so thank you everybody for jumping in. Wow, that sounds stupid. Thanks everybody for tuning in and listening to our little Q&A. This has been Summer the Magnificent. Thank you for answering my question, Summer. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Keaven.
All right, we'll see everybody in the next episode where we will hear Summer's story, or Summer's segment about sloth. Really looking forward to hearing it, Summer.
Can't wait.
All right. Thanks, everybody. Bye.
Background music and sound effects courtesy of Zapsplat. Check him out at zapsplat.com. If you'd like to know more about Written Together and the stories we've told, visit us at writtentogether.com.